the writing community chat show, Advent Christmas Calendar.
The big thing that happens, and I'll mention a comment someone's put there in a second, that you think that one person is this and one person's that, and you think all that's going to happen is you're going to flip your perception of those two people, but it ends up to be something entirely different anyway, and then your mind is gone and you just can't comprehend it. But Michelle, hello to you on the chat, said, I love Behind Her Eyes on Netflix, watched it twice, and now I'm reading the book, which is a testament to how much I enjoyed it. So that is exactly like you said, that when you see that twist or you read that twist, you are almost urgently rushing back to the story because you want to see it from the actual character's eyes.
There was a lot of people on Twitter who watched it twice. They were like, I've got to go back and watch it again. I've got to go back and watch it again just to see all the clues that they missed.
So as someone at that point who was thinking, I need a breakthrough story, this is my point, and where I think, I've got to get something that's going to latch and propel me forward. How did you respond to the praise and sort of the traction this story got?
Well, I was very lucky because the team at Harper really, books do not become bestsellers because of the book. They can become bestsellers because they're put in front of enough people that enough people buy them enough to create a word of mouth. So I was very lucky that all the people at Harper really got behind the book and really pushed it. Given that, I didn't get a huge advance for it because they could only go on my previous sales, but they treated it like it was, they paid a fortune for it, So I was really lucky with that. And obviously I got paid a lot from America, which was nice. But, when the book came out, it's different because it takes a while for people to read a book. And then, I don't hardly ever leave reviews on things. So you get a lot of people read that don't need blah, 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 don't need, or don't, you just don't get that vibe. But when it's TV, it's instant. You go to that Twitter hashtag. And what was so great was that quite a lot of the press didn't like it at all. There was a lot of like, this is very boring, or this is gubbins kind of thing, But what was quite interesting was that they slowly changed the tune as more and more people, how they do, more and more people were liking it. They were like, oh, actually, maybe this is fun. But then I went to Twitter and I searched the hashtag, and it was so good. People were just going with it. And I texted the producer and I was like, Jess, you've got to check out the Twitter hashtag. And she went, I don't have Twitter. I said, you can still see it.
Yeah.
And then she and her husband were addicted to checking it.
Do you think that was because it almost feels like a bit of a genre twist at the end? Do you think that was kind of throwing people off?
Yeah, I think it's what works about it. I remember I said to her at the start of this, I said, look, people from the book, my experience with the book, there will be people who love it, and there'll be purists, which is perfectly understandable, who think they're going into one kind of story, and they're just not going to get the ending. It's not going to be for them. They're not going to like it. If you like very straightforward crime stories, and you really don't like anything supernatural, you're not going to go with that. So I said to her, but there will be people who hate it, and there will be people who love it, but they will all want to talk about it because it is batshit, and you're going into it on the back of especially for TV. There were things that happened in that show that you don't expect the lead character to die. Even though I'd written it when I was watching it, and you see when you go into that flat at the end, you're like, oh my God, she really is dead. She's not in the pigeon. She really is.